Good day to Dr. Nizaha and Dr. Aziza. My name is Foong. Today I am going to present my industry training in the Seafood Valley Enterprise Sendian Berhad. It is a company that located in the Kawasan Perindustrian Percha, Ipoh Perak, and this is my managing director. This is my supervisor. So here is the certification of the company, and the objective of the company is to introduce the steamboat products to the world. Operation activity include of the receiving of the raw material until the delivery of the products. And here is the location of the company on the Google Maps. These all are the products of the company, include of the fish ball, fish cake, and the fish paste. And this is the organization chart together with the top management of the company. Next, I proceed to the position and the job responsibility. This shows the difference between the QC and the QA. During the 12 phase of the internship, I was assigned as a QC in the incoming raw material department, the QC in the fishbowl and fish cake department, and last is the quality assurance QA assistant. First, in the incoming raw material department, I need to check for the quantity and the quality of the raw material, label the receiving dates, and record in the incoming raw material checklist and storing according to the FIFO system. Next, I also involved in the moisture analysis. I need to calculate the moisture content of the fresh surimi fish meat according to the oven drying methods. And this is the step for the moisture analysis, and the moisture content was calculated according to the formula given. I need to do the taste and texture control with the director approval on the processings, and also involved in the product testing. And the purpose of doing the product testing is to avoid any wastage during the large-scale productions. QC need to do the product testing for any new added ingredient in the formulation or new adjusted formulations to ensure that the taste and texture of the finished product do not provide negative impact. So next, proceed to the fish cake and fish ball line departments. Before start the production, QC need to check the weighing balance, cleanliness of the machines, probe thermometer, raw material that need to be used. Purpose is to avoid any cross-contamination, any inaccuracy of the product weight, any error in the temperature difference. So in the fishbowl lines, QC need to ensure all the temperature and the time is correct. Check all the water level in the setting, boiling, rinsing, and cooling tank is suitable. And this is the process for the fishbowl starting from the molting until the packing. The core temperature of the fishbowl after boiling must more than 80 degrees Celsius, and core temperature of the fishbowl after cooling must less than 5 degrees Celsius. And next is the fish cake line. QC need to remind the production supervisor to check the setting room every 30 minutes and record the temperature of the product in the upper and the lower tray. And this is the process of the fish cake making until the packing. Core temperature of the fish cake after frying must more than 80 degrees Celsius. Here is the checklist for the fishbowl and the fish cake line. And last, in my last month of the industry trainings, I was assigned as a QA assistant, and this is the daily, weekly, and monthly routine. So I also need to contact with the person in charge and arrange the schedule for the yearly calibrations, the yearly external lab test for the renewal of the HACCP, and the monthly pest control. Since the Seafood Valley Enterprise is a halal certified company, all the raw material they use need to have halal certified. So as a QA assistant, I need to ensure that all the raw material from the supplier have the halal certified and free from any contamination and always up to date for the halal certificate. So last, I also have the opportunity to handle the product exportation to the Hong Kong. Start from the receive the order and apply for the health certificate and include the lab test for the non-HACCP products, the application of the COA, commercial invoice, packing list, and check with the container number, sale number, and the vessel number, the draft of the bill of the lading, and prepare for the loading reports, application of the certificate of the origin COO, and courier all the original documents to the buyer. And during my industry training, I need to do the mini project. The title for my mini project is The Effect of the Three Halos on Taste, Ice Crystal Formation during the storage and the appearance in the surimi seafood dim sum fishbowl. And 3 formulation is done. So the problem statement is, Mr. Kevin realized that the weight of the fishball that sold in the steamboat shop and market is become very dry, lost the moisture, appearance become wrinkled and darker. And he also realized that the size of the ice crystal in the dim sum fishball is bigger compared to other fishball products. It brings the effects such as the reduced acceptability level of the consumer affect the decision of the consumer during buying the fishball. So the justification is tree loss is proof that it has a high water retention capability, resists the browning reactions, reduce the ice crystal formations, and it does not have a great effect on the sensory characteristic. So this is the procedure for making the dim sum fishball, starting from the weighing the ingredients until boiling, the rinsing, and last is the storing. So the blast freezing is important, and it has the purpose to help in the creation of the small ice crystal with the minimum dislocation of the water, thus giving the fishball with the better quality after defrosting. So the first analysis is regarding the ice crystal formations. So during the freezing process, ice crystal will form and have a great influence on the quality of the foodstuff after thawing, causing the drip loss, textural and color modification. So fast freezing leads a fine ice structure and less damage, but slow freezing tends to form a large ice crystal. So blast freezing is more preferred in a company since it can bring down the temperature of the surimi seafood product at an extremely cold temperature. So the result shows that blast freezing helped in the creation of the small ice crystal does not have a great effect and no significant difference among the formulation, and medium size of the ice crystal were formed. The factors might due to the unstable temperature condition during the storage and recrystallization of the ice crystal. So it has a suggestion that good control in the fluctuations of the temperature is needed in order to keep a better quality of products. So the second analysis is the water retention capability and appearance of the dim sum fishball after long exposure to the air. And this experiment was done for around 24 hours, let the fishball exposed to the air, and need to check the appearance and the water retention capability of the dim sum fishball was observed visually. So from the result shows that the formulation air looked very dry, formed the browning effect and the darker on the surface. Tree loss really helped in the retain the moisture to avoid the fishball from become very dry when long exposed to air. And tree loss also helped in the resist the browning effect, but there is no significant difference among the three formulation. Last, I also did the sensory evaluation and 30 panelists was involved evaluated using the 7-point hedonic scale. This is the master sheet, score sheet, and the presentation of the sensory evaluation of the dim sum fishball. Then this is the result shows the mean score of the sensory characteristic for the dim sum fishball: color, odor, texture, taste, moistness, and the overall acceptability. So three formulations do not have a great significant difference in terms of the color, odor, taste, texture, and the overall acceptability, but there was a slightly different in terms of the moistness. But the mean score shows the high acceptability on the quality of the dim sum fishball. Tree loss does not give any color effect in the for the color of the fishball, and the fishball odor and the taste was in the acceptable range. And the texture also is the soft but elastic and chewy. And the dim sum fishball with the added tree loss had the higher mean score in the moistness. Therefore, it can prove that the tree loss helped in the moistness of the fishball. And as a overall acceptability, it falls in the range of the score 6 and score 7. And this is the skill and the experience learned from the mini project. I have a better understanding on the real processing of the surimi seafood products, learn more on the processing of the fishball, function of the each ingredient that involved in the formulation, improve my problem solving skill, improve my communication skill, learn to be more responsible, independent, and confident. The summary on the issue facing the mini project. The problem is the temperature, the texture, and the lack of the advanced instrument for the analysis. So for the temperature and the texture, the temperature must not more than 10 degrees Celsius during the mixing, and the amount of the water need to adjust and added slowly according to protein content, and the protein content is measured using the refractometer. So lack of the advanced instrument for the analysis, I need to do the simple tests such as observe by visual the ice crystal formation, composition, the water retention capability, and the appearance of the fishbowl when long exposed to air, and do the sensory evaluation. This is the experience and the skill acquired. I can expose to the real situation of the food industry, gain more knowledge of myself about the QA, QC, learn more about the processing of the production of the different kind of the fishbowl and fish cake, and learn and gain the experience on the handling, storage of the incoming raw material according to the FIFO system, learn the moisture analysis for the surimi fish meat, taste and texture control for the product, learn the HACCP, and gain the experience related to the QA documentary. So the correlations between the theory learned in the UMT and industry training is theory learned in the UMT include of the QA, QC, GMP, MERST, HACCP, and the FIFO system, and especially the food processing and the sensory evaluations that help me in the mini project that provide a basic knowledge on the procedure for the making the fishbowl and fish cake during the lab sessions, gave a good experience on conducting the sensory analysis and data analysis. So, for the contribution between the organization and the trainee, organization provide enough information to the trainee, provide the chance for the learning, provide the chance to gain the knowledge and the application of the product exploitation, health certificate, and it help also develop my soft skill. So for the training, I gave my full commitment and the effort in the completing the daily given task and the mini project within the given periods. And mini project provide an useful information on the function of the 3-halols used as a sugar substitute ingredient, and it helped to develop an easy stock checking list for the raw material. So as a conclusion, I had gained my knowledge and experience regarding the QA and QC, and I applied my knowledge that I learned from my previous syllabus in my industry training, and I also gained the new knowledge regarding to the product exploitation flow and application for the required documents. I also improved my communication skill, problem solving skill, hands-on skill throughout this industry training. And thank you for all. That's all from me, and here is the reference. Thank you.